had given you a pre-series unit of our new A system, and I'm very curious to know how you liked it, especially our new SA track system.
When you sent me the system a few weeks back before it was introduced here, I have to admit I was a little bit skeptical because I've used Sachtler for years, and I know they are high-end tripods, so I was a bit curious to see if their the new entry-level tripod would be any good. But I was very pleasantly surprised that it performed the same way like my FSB system. So no compromise on quality. The drag is really the same. And yes, it's a new drag system. It's called the SA drag, as you mentioned. I think it allows the head to be a little bit smaller than the FSB systems, like a third almost. But the performance is the same because the same grease is used inside, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's the Sachtler fluid grease we have in all the Sachtler heads.
Okay, yeah, that's good to hear because I think it's really the exact same feeling. So there isn't a compromise on that regard.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a different material. It's a glass fiber reinforced composite material, as opposed to the FSB, which is metal and very sturdy. But to be honest, it's also great that it's lightweight because this makes it lighter as well. So I think the whole system only has like 4.5 kilograms, which is perfect for DSLR filmmakers and HDV filmmakers, especially one-man bands, because a lot of people now walk around alone, unfortunately, and then they have a very lightweight tripod to use. And also, I used to tell people that you don't get a good tripod, a really good one, for less than €1,000. So, and I understood that a lot of people had problems with this because they spend like 1,000 or 1,500, maybe €2,000 on a new camera, on a good lens, and then of course they don't want to spend the same amount of money on a tripod again, or cannot spend it, of course, like me when I started out. So what do? You had to buy the very cheap stuff, which is usually not very good, and now you have, for I think €550 list price, a very, very decent tripod entry level.
What else did you like about the tripod? We have a 5-step counterbalance system. How important is that for you?
Oh, this is very important. It's also the same as the FSBs have, especially the FSB4. Because depending on, the maximum payload of this head is 4 kilograms. So depending on where the weight is on your system, especially with DSLRs, you sometimes have a long lens on, then you have a wide or a light lens on. You have to find the center of balance and then balance the head out. And you need the counterbalance steps to control that, because if you don't have enough steps, it won't be able to get back into position. And that's why you need that. And 5 steps is enough for almost every configuration on top of this tripod.
Okay, so we mentioned the drag system, the counterbalance. Is there anything else you like about the tripod?
Well, yeah, as I said, they didn't compromise on quality, and you see it on stuff and details as well. Like you can tilt down 90 degrees, so you could film something on the ground. This is something that even some more expensive tripods don't have. Also, I like that the plate here is the same as the FSB systems. So for me, it's also, I like to shoot interviews with 2 cameras. So for me, it's perfect to be interchangeable. I just take this camera and put it on the FSB, or vice versa, depending on which camera I want to have where. So it's not like a new standard. It's really like an addition. And also, you'd have a parking position for the screws. I notoriously lose all the screws that I have. This helps me at least to lose them not as fast, or maybe keep them. So this is nice. So it's very well thought through, yes.
To whom will you recommend the new A system?
I would recommend the A system for beginners who are ambitious, and maybe film students or keen event videographers and people who are really starting out and getting their first jobs, or also people who want to make nice little DSLR films and nice visual and stuff like that. Or, as I mentioned, the student filmmaker which doesn't have the budget yet. So this is you're not compromising on quality here. Whereas, of course, if you use it day in and day out in a broadcast environment, you would maybe take an FSB system over that, of course. But for the keen videographer, this is perfect.